At the outset, Minister, I want to thank Senator O'Reilly for bringing this motion here, but I'm quite devastated by what I just heard about Dublin Zoo. I mean, I think, Minister, the moment you leave here, you need to contact people and get them out there to see exactly what's going on. If even a tiny portion of what you're being told is true, that is outrageous. When I think of bringing my grandchildren and other people bringing their grandchildren out, and we thinking these animals are looked after better than any animal in the world, I'm totally devastated. But canine welfare is what I want to talk about. I've kept dogs all my life, right? Kept cockers for years, then moved on to Labradors and finally Beagles. I moved away from cockers because of a condition known as cocker rage. And cocker rage apparently arises from inbreeding. And, you know, when you go to purchase a dog, most of us that want to buy a dog and not rescue a dog, when you go, you usually find the little cardboard box in the corner with the puppies in the cardboard box and everything looks hunky-dory. And then years later, you find out that this particular breeder was breeding maybe 100 bitches. And the little cardboard box was there purely for your visit and nothing else. But recently, my first Beagle died, and my wife made a decision, we're never going to have a dog again. That's it. We're finished now. Not going through that again. And my grandkids said, no, if we get a dog, Nana will take the dog. So the hunt started for a Beagle. And I invite you to look at dogs.ie, right? There's a bulldog there today for 2,000 quid. There's a Pomeranian there today for 1,650. There are Beagles there for 1,000. There are German Shepherds there for 600 to 2,000, depending on where you go. I bet £1 that nobody is paying any tax on this for starters. Secondly, I will guarantee you quite a number of these are living in the most horrendous conditions. We were looking for this Beagle. My son was relating to me the story behind the hunt for the Beagle. Several phone calls were ended with, oh, well, it's not my own dog. I'm selling them for a friend. The other one was, sorry, the bitch is away being shown at the moment, so you can't see the bitch. No, we do, the male is not about, we don't. The worst one we had was 8 puppies down in the West for sale. And they were for sale at €1,600 each. They were the most beautiful looking dogs. I've no problem at all whatsoever there. The only thing is, the bitch and the father were not available and couldn't be seen because they were living with this guy's partner who was suffering from COVID-19. You know? Now, I mean, 8 puppies at €1,650 each, that's a massive amount of money. To a certain degree, the Irish Kennel Club has a role to play here, because many of the breeders that I have met over time are people who show dogs at Irish Kennel Club events. And a very good friend of mine in the north of Ireland who is a champion dogs, he is horrified by the number of dogs that are coming from the Republic through Northern Ireland to the UK, in the boots of cars, in all sorts of transportation. Now, I think my colleague Senator Boylan has a point here. I think breeders need to be registered. I think it needs to be formalised as a business. I think if you want to breed, you need to establish or register with your local authority that you are a breeder. And you need to have this up on your website. If you're selling an animal, you need to have a registered number as a breeder in order that people like me who want to buy a particular breed are able to check out your bona fides. The trouble we had, and not me particularly, but the trouble my family had in trying to get the latest dog we have, who's currently destroying my house, but that's another day's work. The trouble we had in establishing the bona fides of the breeder was absolutely almost insurmountable. And in the end of the day, we did find. But we are talking about a multi-million euro industry here in dogs. Now, very quickly on horses, at the end of the Celtic Tiger, we had lots of people bought horses who were going to turn into Arkle or Red Rum, and they thought, happy days. Suddenly they weren't able to feed them, they didn't have the money. And I'm aware of one stable where people came and took the horses out of the stable, and the stable owner asked, you know, the trainer, he said, where's the horse? Oh, I'm taking him down to a friend of mine in a farm. What they were actually doing was driving over west with a horse box, opening the horse box somewhere in Connemara, letting the horse out and driving away. And we had a county councillor in Ballina, I can't remember the man's name off the top of my head right now, but he used to drive around the country rescuing horses. And he used to keep horses up in his place in Ballina, and his council payment he used to feed the horses. An amazing man. But these were horses that were sold for thousands of euros, and they were just dumped on the side of the road. So I think it's a massive problem. I'm still in shock over Dublin Zoo, I really am. I just can't get over that today. But I really thank Senator O'Reilly for bringing this here today. This is something that needs to be highlighted. We really do need to stop what's going on in the country. And if it's happening with dogs, what must the market be like for really exotic animals? So I leave it at that, Minister, and thank you for being here.